So there are so far 26 students joined. So welcome back, all the students. So let us begin today's session. Data visualization. Can you hear me, everyone? Go to chat box and write down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go to chat box because I have new to all. You can go to chat box and you can write down your query as well as if you feel I'm not audible to all. Okay. So today's agenda. What is data visualization and its significance? Basic of ggplot, aesthetic, geometric, and etc. Using the concept of ggplot, how we can plot diagrams like simple bar diagram, multiple subdivided bar diagram, pie chart, and other graphical presentation like box plot, scatter plot, histogram, frequency polygon, and so on. So let's see what is data visualization. So the title itself says if we have a data, then how that data can be visualized, maybe in a form of graphical, maybe in a form of maybe in a form of graph. So graphical representation of information or data. So data visualization basically it is a graphical representation of any information and data. Examples I have already given like simple bar diagrams, pie chart, etc. Now to see the pattern, to see the trend in the data, there is a one part which is belonging to the data visualization. So in data visualization, one can able to see the trends, see the outliers. Maybe you have studied that what is outliers because few things Jasser is already covered in the data in outliers. Then the pattern in the data, whether it is moving upward, downward, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the means what else we can do in data visualization. Then it's very quick, easy to convey the concepts. So if we have the very big data, but to studying the data is very quite difficult. But if I represent in a form of even in a form of I can say graph, okay. So it's very simple to understand and easy to convey the concepts, convey the message. Then one can say it save the time of data analyst. So who is a performing all analysis part? It will is saving the time, precise time saving by the data analyst. So whenever you conduct any analysis, if you have big data, you can go by the data visualization. It will save your time. Now, what is the significance? What are the importance of data visualizations? Okay, what are the importance and significance? Identify areas that need attention or improvement. Okay, so that data visualizations gives the information about in which sector, in which area you can able to improve ourselves. Okay, clarify the factors influence customer behavior. So if I say let's say this is something called you wanted to know the particular you can say brand. Okay, so brand of you can say shoes, clothes, etc., etc. Okay, So in that scenario, which brand is very you can say famous in the market? So we have to need to understand the factors. We need to understand which are the factors is important in the customer point of view. Okay, which are the factors important for the customer point of view, so that we can change the pattern of the, we can change the customer behavior. Okay, so for example, if I'm saying let's say customer you can say there are different type of brands. For being I forget to this thing, but maybe some brand you can call. Okay, like Vivo, and if I talk about terms of mobile phone, you can call Vivo. Let's say Vivo, or let's say Samsung. So what are the factors which influence the Samsung brand, or we can call the Vivo brand? Okay, so that is very important for customer point of view. Next one, to help to understand which product is to be placed. So as I mentioned, customer behavior once you know the customer behavior, you can able to understand which product can be become famous in the market, which product can be become famous in the market, and you can able to sell it. You can predict the sales, you can predict the sales volumes. Means once you place the order, you know what is my whether I'm getting profit, whether I'm getting loss, etc, etc. So you can able to predict the sales amount. Okay? You can able to know what is my income, okay, etc, etc. So that was all significance. Now we'll move to the ggplot. Okay, the ggplot. What is ggplot? A grammar of graphic. A grammar of graphic. GG, grammar of graphics, defines the rules of structuring mathematics and aesthetic elements into a meaningful graph. So what it means? See, this ggplot is a you can say it is a given by or designed by Leland Wilkinson Wilkinson in 2005, and it has a very lot of role in the designing, or you can say data visualizing in that scenario. Okay. Then what is aesthetic? Aesthetics are required and which are allowed depend on the geometry. So it is GEOM, geometry means you can give x-axis, you can give y-axis, you can give z-axis, you can use you can say horizontal bar, you can use geometric bar, you can use so many things, like you can put tags, you can put x-axis, you can put y-axis. So there are some examples I have given. This is some examples. Okay, maybe when we go for the demo, we will take more things, because based on the graphs and etc, we can able to understand. So first one is axis. AES axis. Okay, this is called axis. So this is the giving x and y axis. So whenever you want to include axis like x axis, y axis, we have to use the command for AES, which is called axis. Then we have given positioning along with x axis. So if you want to write the title of x axis, then you're supposed to write x axis. So we will see how it works. But what are the geometric allowed in the aesthetic? Okay, so that you just understand. X axis means you can see here. This is the positioning along with x axis. Y axis means positioning along with the y axis. Then we have colors. So you can have a colors like you can fill the colors 2D, 3D, etc, etc. Okay, so that is basically about colors. Then you have fill options. You can able to fill the options, means which color you want to fill. Okay, so that is filling the colors. Then we have line type. So how this line type should be drawn? Whether it will be solid, dashed, it will be dotted, etc. etc. This is called basically line type. Then we have alpha. So alpha basically gives the transparency of the object. How your object will be very dark and very sharp and etc. Then we have a shape, like different. You can give the shape of the structure in the scatter plot. Whether you want to. So basically, shape will be used in scatter plot. The shape of markers means you can use like dot. You can use like star. You can use like dash. Means this is called shape. That we will see how it works in the scatter plot. Then we have a size. Means how the object, how large you can see the object. If the object is not seen properly, then how you can increase the size, decrease the sizing, etc. Then we have a geometrics here. So geometric function differs in geometric shapes produced for the plot. So if you want to draw simple bar diagram, then you have to use geometric underscore bars. So basically this is bars with the base on x-axis. Okay, so geometric bars will be quite useful because while drawing simple bar diagram we need to use geometric underscore bar. Then we have geometric call. So there are two types of geometric bar and geometric call. Okay, geometric call means it's actually filling the colors, filling the labels. Okay, it's count the frequency. So whenever actually it's a part of bar plot only. Okay, so whenever you want to draw the, let's say, multiple bar diagram, so in that scenario we are not going to use geometric underscore bar. Okay, why? I'll tell you. Because we have x-axis, we have y-axis, and in multiple bar diagram, if you remember the example, let's say maximum minimum, because we are just comparing the years with the reference to maximum minimum maximum temperature. Okay, so here we are assuming that frequency count will be there. Okay, here frequency count, maximum minimum frequency. Okay, so in that scenario, instead of using geometric bar, one can go for geometric call. Then we have a geometric underscore box plot. So this is basically used for the box plot. The name itself is it's showing it is a box plot. Then we have geometric underscore histogram. It's very simple. Name, all names are there. Line means you can able to see the line plot. Geometric points means scatter plot. Okay. Now let us see the simple bar diagram first. The first bar is a simple bar diagram. So how the simple bar diagram works? So let's see example. So there is no theoretical part regarding the simple bar diagram. I am assuming that everybody knows how the questions, how the theory part can be done in the simple bar diagram. So in simple bar diagram, we have one variables. We are talking about one variables and how this one variable can be represented in the form of simple bar diagram. So theory for this is not going to be asked in your examination because this is the practical sessions. So no need to worry about theory. Okay, so if the problem is given like this, the following table gives the birth rate per thousands of different countries over the certain period, like this. Okay, so we have given countries and we have given their birth rate. Okay, I want to show this, I want to represent this data with suitable diagramming titles. Okay, so I hope everybody knows we are here we can able to draw simple bar diagram. See the title itself saying it's simple bar diagram. Okay, and question is given to you, means you are able to identify the problem that in your examination you are not mentioned this simple bar diagram. See, even in the problem itself it's not mentioned in simple bar diagram. You need to understand which diagrams we are going to use, which bar you have to going to use. Okay, so that things you can always remember. Okay, they will not tell you that you draw simple bar diagram, you draw multiple bar diagram. Okay, you have to understand the problem. Now we are in higher level. Okay, so you have to understand the problem, whether we're going to apply simple bar diagram, we're going to apply pie chart, we're going to apply histogram. Okay, so you have to understand the problem clearly and understand, and then you can able to, and based on the problem, one can proceed with the code. Okay. So this is the questions, and here I am interested to express or represents the country. Okay, so country is my x-axis and birth rate is my y-axis. Okay, I want to represent this data with, you can understand here, suitable diagram. So they are not mentioning any diagram. We don't know which diagram it's going to which diagram we have to express. So, and with title. So I want to add title also. Okay, so that is also very important. So before I proceed, I'll share my another screen, which is ggplot. Okay, now, so questions I have already shown you. Like we have a data set. We have a data set here, and data set regarding the country. Okay, and their birth rate is given to us. So what I did here, uh, before installing, uh, before representing the simple bar diagram, we need to call library. Okay, library ggplot2. Okay, ggplot2. Okay, you have to run this and see whether the library is there or not. Okay, that means whether ggplot is installed or not. Okay, so if I execute this, so you can see ggplot is there in my you can call in my software. It is installed. Okay, so if I just want to run this, so it is very simple, right? I have given you data frame, like we have a country, we have a birth rate. So this is, they have to create in terms of data frame, right? So how? So this, I've defined the variable name. You can call any variable name. You can call birth rate data, you can call data, you can call df, whatever you want you call, you can call. That is a data name. So we have to enter the data first. So data dot frame, and we have first variable country, and we have to write the country in the form of vector. Okay, so we have given vector India, Germany, China, and so on. So in terms of double quote, why it is double quote? Because it is a string. It is a string. Then we have a birth rate. Then we have a birth rate like 33, 16, 14, etc., etc. Okay. So once you execute this, you can able to see. You can able to see there is no syntax found. That means whatever data I have entered, it is absolutely correct. But you want to see the data. So just see the data, how the data look like. So you can see there is country and there is a birth rate. So this is similar data I have considered, which I have shown you just now in my PPT. Okay. Now I want to plot this data. The data which I have entered will be simple data. Okay. So what is the command for this? ggplot in bracket. This is my data. Can you understand the data? So this is the data I have entered. Okay, and I have to define here axis. So AES axis. So see, once I just scroll my cursor near to axis, it will show you x comma y. Can you see here x comma y? That means x-axis have to define and y-axis have to define. So write your data set, comma, AES axis, country, comma, birth rate. Okay, let's execute this and understand. So once you execute this, you can able to see the right bottom. I hope it is visible to all. Okay, I hope it is visible to all. Yeah. So if you see this right bottom, this area, just a minute. I'll just take this up. Okay. So this area is basically a plot area. This area is basically a plot area. So here one can see I have written this command. What is the command? Axis country comma birth rate. So by default in my x-axis I got country and y-axis I got birth rate. So this is the basically adding. So I have written the comment also here, adding x-axis and y-axis. So whenever you want to add x-axis, y-axis, you can just understand AES, country and birth. Generally, whenever we have a data, we always go for create x-axis, create y-axis, then we write the mark like 10, 20, etc., etc., etc. Okay, the usual method. There is no like, it's very simple. Now, you can see, there is no bar is there, right? We have to just draw the bar from this, like America. What is the birth rate? So America birth rate is 33, okay, etc., etc. So we want to add the bar. So whenever you want to add the bar, what will be command for that? So adding the bar, you can able to see the screen of mine source and the plot. Two things, okay? Maybe my cursor will be here and my cursor will be there in the plot. So either two ways, okay? So just understand the cursor where it is moving, okay? Because whatever I'm saying, I don't understand whether you are looking this side or that side, okay? So just look my cursor where I'm uh, speaking and where I'm giving the point on that. So now I'm going to add the bar to the plot, okay? I'm going to add the bar to the plot. So as I mentioned, bar, okay? So this code will be remain same in my first statement plus. So whatever I have written the code here, I will again copy and paste it here. Plus, I have to add the bar. So what is the code you have to write? So just type geometric underscore bar and state is equal to in double quote you have to write identity, okay? In double quote you have to write identity. So if you just simply write geometry underscore bar, it will won't be run, okay? It will not show you the bar. But if you just type here state is equal to identity, it will just execute and you can able to see this right bottom very soon. So see, this is the bar you can able to. So once you execute geometric underscore bar in bracket state is equal to identity, you can able to see the bar, okay, clearly and understand. Okay, so America will we have some number, China will around 14, Germany is around some number, etc., etc., okay? But can you understand this bar which we have drawn? It's not really looking nice. So we want to just do a little bit decoration to this bar. Okay. So what we can do with this? So that means you want to fill the color. We want to fill the color. So how to fill the color? How to fill any colors to the bar? Okay. So the whole thing will remain same. Whatever we written the code here, that thing will remain same. Now we want to fill the color. Okay, so we want to fill the color. So whenever we fill the color, geometric underscore call in bracket, you have to just type fill is equal to blue. So we want to fill the color blue. Okay, you can fill any color like in blue, red, whatever color you want, you can fill, you can try out. Okay, so suppose I want to fill color blue, so just say blue. Wow, good, looking nice. So this is the way you can fill the color. Okay, now sometimes you want to fill different colors. Okay, so in that scenario what you have to do, you can able to change the, see, instead of writing the blue, you just type here, for example, let's say 1:6. Let me see whether it will run some. Oh no, this color is not found. Okay, uh, in maybe it will run in the 1:5. See, so what I did here, I have given some number to this, and this number will assume some color, and by default it will fill the color automatically to the plot. But if you want to fill your own color, you can go with your own color. Okay? So there is no problem with that, filling the color. See, as you move ahead, you will be understand how this pictorial representation, how this data visualization can be done in different ways. Okay, so this is the way you can able to fill the color, but still you can able to understand this graph is something like incomplete. This graph is looking like incomplete. Why it is incomplete? Because we don't have any title. Okay, so without title, the graph is incomplete. So we want to add the title to this particular graph. So till here the command is same again. You have to just copy this command and paste it here. Plus write down gg title. Okay, gg title means you have to just write gg title. Title, you know what is title. So if you just type title here, which is birth rate for the countries, how it looks. See, just execute this. Wow, great. So I have given the title for the countries. Okay, but if you able to see the title is not actually looking nice. Why? Because it is in not middle. Okay, so I want to just put this in a little bit in middle so that it will look nice for me. Okay, so how we can adjust this title? Okay, so for that you copy same syntax again here and add one more add one more command here. Theme plot dot title is equal to element underscore text adjust, means you have to adjust the horizontally. You have to adjust the horizontally this data. Okay, it's not vertically. So horizontally is equal to 0.5. 0.5 means you have to put in center. 0.5 means you have to put in center. Okay, so you have to just write this title, this syntax for adjusting our title. So if I run this, you can now understand your titles are properly adjusted with in center. So if you just write here instead of 0.5 write 0.8 0.7, it will move here and there. But if I write 0.5, because it is written adjust means horizontal, you are adjusting horizontally, you are putting that title. So once you write 0.5, it will put always in center, otherwise it will not put in center, somewhere it will be left or right. Now suppose, okay, and this is something what is called adding bar to okay, so this is the way you can adjust your title. Then suppose I want to now if you see this particular let's say America here, one can understand it's approximate 15, right? But still uh, it is not looking very nice because I just want to see the number on top. Okay, so if number will be on top, I can immediately conclude that China population is this, Germany population is, and so on. Okay, so whenever you want to put some number or some bar to the number, then what will be the code for this? Okay, so the rest will be the again same. What you have to add here, geometric underscore text geometric underscore text, and I'm giving access label is equal to birth rate. Okay, so now we are filling the label, right? We are filling the label. So label to the birth rate. So this is the birth rate, right? This is America ka birth rate is this, China ka birth rate is this. Okay, so I am giving label to the birth rate. Okay, so we have to write geometric underscore text access in bracket label is equal to birth rate and comma we just vertically we have to use 1.6, and since now you have to adjust vertically. Okay, Horizontally, there is no need to adjust. Vertically, you have to fill that, because otherwise it will be very top and it will be very bottom. Okay, so based on that, you can change the things and you can get it. And you want to fill whatever number will be on that particular bar. You want to give the number some. We want to give the color to that number. Okay, so if it is blue, and if I'm giving that number will mean blue, then it will not show it. It will not shown me, because it will both are blue, both are the blue color. It will I cannot able to see that. So I'm just giving the white color to that particular text, and I want to give the size to that text. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. The bar is very small and your number is very big, or vice versa. Okay, so this is a setting you have to always make understand. So just understand this syntax for writing the you can call putting the text to the bar. So you can now able to see. I think it's looking very nice. So no need to just checking whether horizontally you can go here and you can check this is 40. No, 40 is automatically allotted those to bar. That means China population is 40, Germany population is 60, and so on. Okay, thousand maybe in the terms of lakhs and thousand, etc., etc. Okay, so I think we have did with the simple pattern. So I'm unmute to all. If you have any questions related to simple bar diagram, we can discuss, and then we can move ahead. Okay, so let me see the chat box if you have any questions. Okay. Deleting any vector, any variable, do we have to use syntax of removing? Yeah, correct. I think deleting, removing is same. I think, yeah, it is same. Correct. If you use minus sign for that, correct. So this is the question by the Jyoti Pandey. So deleting, removing is same. Okay. Any other question? No. Okay. How to add scale? Scale means, need to yada what is scale? X-axis, Y-axis you're talking about? Acha, means in like 1 centimeter, like that. Okay. So basically, there is no need to adjust the scale, because ggplot gives automatically scale to the vector. No need to worried about scaling, because it does automatically to the software. Automatically it work in the title. Identity means in the state geometric. So if you not write identity in that what do you call just keep blank to the geometric bar. Let me show you that. So if you just simply write here just say, I'll just remove this bar. Okay. I just remove this bar and just simply write state bar and execute this. See what it's showing me. Because I have to write the state identity. State identity will give the bar, it will allot to the bar to me. Okay. If I execute this, it will show you me the bar. But if you not write state identity, it will not show you me the bar. So geometric underscore bar state is equal to identity. So that is a very important part. You can always take care. So identity basically gives the bar to the particular country. Okay. Any other question is there? You can ask directly also. Is there an option in which bar can be replaced? Which can be replaced identity? No, I think there is no option because bar. See, for if you want to change this, let's say bar to replace by shape, like you want to draw the simple instead of simple bar diagram. If you want to draw the pie chart, so there is an option for performing that. There's an option for performing that, but that we will see in the coming session. Okay. For type of bar, what is the question? Rahul Pal is there. What is the type of question? For type of bar means I didn't understand your question. For type of bar means can you able to explain me? For pie chart. Okay, okay. See, for pie chart is this different programming. For bar chart, you have to always use state identity. Okay. Even for multiple bar diagram also, it is a part of bar diagram also. But still, the bar cannot be used. It is a bar only. But I mentioned, na, there is two type of bar. So geometric bar and geometric call. So geometric call will be used when we have the more than one bar. Okay. So that we will see in the maybe the coming sessions. Okay. Any other question related to bar, adding title, and etc. etc. You can ask.
लाइट बिल भर के आ जाने का ना लाइट बिल भर देना लाइट बिल भर के रखो मैं तो पता चलो
How to increase? So see, increasing. There's no need to increase. If you just zoom it this, you can able to see my screen. जैसे आप zoom करेंगे, automatically you can able to see the see. So I think this is sufficient properly. So this is all attempt automatically adjust in ggplot. Okay, automatically it will be adjusted by the ggplot. So even if it is looking nice, so no need to modify, and you can change the size and etc. Okay, distance between two bar etc. But you have to work on that. But I think it is sufficient to whatever command I have given here. That is sufficient for simple bar diagram. Okay, is sufficient. But definitely, if you work on how to give the distance etc, then you can add those you can add those command, and you can increase the size, you can keep the distance between two bars and etc. Even you can a little bit you can decrease the size of bar also. Okay, so maybe if I have a code for this, I will show you how it works. Okay, okay. Any other question is there? So it's now 8:48. So you can have 5 minutes break, 10 minutes break, or 5 minutes break, and then we'll back to 9 o'clock. So by the time you can keep some questions ready so that we can discuss and we can proceed with the new questions. Okay. So see you at 9. See you at 9 o'clock. Recording. So if you see my title of multiple and subdivided bar diagram. Questions I have given only one, okay, but we have to express it whether it will be multiple or whether it will be subdivided. Okay, so this is the questions I have given, and if to represent this about data with suitable diagram with title. Now if you have seen the simple bar diagram, nothing mentioned about color, etc, etc, okay, title, etc, etc, but that is all mandatory things we have to add in the bars. We have to add in any diagram. Okay, so it is compulsory to add x-axis, y-axis, title, you can say color you can have your own choice, then text to the bar. Okay, and this is all mandatory for drawing or plotting any bar diagrams. Mandatory means it's compulsory. Okay, so always remember, whether it is mentioned or not mentioned, you have to perform this 4 to 5 or 6 options will be always. Okay, but if they are saying mentioning, like right title, right, you can say x-axis, right, y-axis, then you follow those steps. But if they're not mentioned, they're just mentioning like represent about data with suitable diagram and uh, title, then you have to follow the mandatory concepts. But if they are mentioned, like write down x-axis will be this, y-axis will be this, okay, title will be this, so they can ask in sub questions. Okay, here they didn't ask sub questions, but in that scenario it is asking sub questions, so you can always follow these sub questions. Okay, so this is the questions generally. So whether we're going to plot multiple bar diagram or we're going to plot subdivided, the question arises. Okay, so no need to worry about this. So what I have mentioned in this problem, we have given maximum and minimum temperature of 4 CDs. Okay, 4 CDs. So CDs are given here, and the temperature is given in Celsius, maximum minimum. So definitely it is the multiple bar. One can draw also subdivided. But what is the difference between multiple and subdivided? Hope you have studied these two concepts. Okay, subdivided is used whenever we have given total data and I am dividing that data into a factor, into you can say partitioning components. Okay, so let's say example for subdivided will be let's say number of students uh, in particular college. So the number of students in particular college, so we have given total data. Out of that, how many are from BSc background, how many are from BCom background, how many are from commerce background, or you can say arts background. That means BSc, BCom, BA. So in that scenario, total will be given to us, and based on the total, we are uh, decomposing the factors. So in that scenario, to use subdivided, you can able to subdivide the data. Okay, but here you have a maximum temperature, minimum temperature. Total temperature will be not there. It has no meaning. So in this scenario, you have to use multiple bar diagram. So understand the question, how it is framed, and when you're going to use multiple bar diagram, when you're going to use subdivided bar diagram. So let me share now. Let me share the screen for first of all R Studio. But before, we have to frame this data. We have to enter this data. Okay. So how to enter this data? So that there are different way of entering the data. But finally, when you view the data will be look like this only. It's actually you will not able to see actual view of this data. It will not show you the actual view of this data, because this is something called as a merge option. Okay, So this is 2 cell, right? 1 cell, 2 cell. And so above this also there is 1 cell, 1 cell. So I merged this cell together. So actually your data will be not look like this. Then how it look like? So we have to enter this data very properly. So delay we have a maximum data will be this. Again delay we have minimum this data. Or you can add this way. Delhi maximum, Kolkata maximum, Mumbai maximum, Chennai maximum. So maximum will be given 4 times and their entries. Then again this value minimum, this value minimum. So maximum will be 4 times, minimum will be 4 times. That way also you can do. Okay. So this is there are different way of entering the data. Okay. So let me share the screen for the Art Studio. You'll be understand how this data can be entered in the Art Studio. So I'll clear this first. Okay, so again able to see my screen, I think. So again I have a DF here, data.frame. I have a country. So country will be, I think, simple. You can able to enter it as vector. So this is the four you can call. But can you able to see? I have given only 4 country. I have given only 4 country. But what I have mentioned here, this is the temperature. This is the maximum, minimum, and etc. So here if I see the labels will be given 4 time will be maximum and 4 time will be minimum. So what I had mentioned there, city maximum, next city maximum, next city maximum, next city maximum. So it will show you city with maximum value. Then again city minimum, city minimum, city minimum. So that's why you can, if you see this country data, you have written first for Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. Again Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. So I have written twice. Why? The first 4 will be for maximum, next 4 will be for minimum. So this is the way you have to understand the data, how to enter for the multiple bar diagram. And you can able to see this is the 4 entry for maximum for 4 cities. Again this is the entry for next 4 entry for minimum. So while entering the data is very important in the case of multiple bar diagram. So usually the students does mistake here only because they won't enter the data properly. So if in beginning itself there is a difficulty for entering the data, whole you can say whole analysis goes wrong. Okay, and there is a label. So this is the label, means actually it's a temperature. You can say temperature or you can call label. So label you have to, so there are 2 levels, maximum minimum, then maximum minimum, pass fail, okay, like that. So that we have to enter the data properly. So once I execute this, you can able to see my actual data how look like. So you can see how this data is entered. So first 4 city with this data with maximum. Next 4 city minimum data and their temperature. Okay, this is not exactly look like this, but if you see the delay and maximum and their temperature, it is same. Similarly Kolkata maximum and their data will be same, and so on. Okay, so that you can, so this is actual it should match with your original data. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. If it won't be match, your whole analysis goes wrong. Okay, your whole analysis goes wrong. Okay, but you can see now this is not simple bar diagram. This is not a simple bar diagram. So whenever there is a more than one bar, or you can say we are using the temperature. So this is my actual value. So on x-axis we have country. So if you see the command for this, ggplot your data, axis AEX, x-axis your country, absolutely correct. Y-axis is your temperature. So x-axis is your country and y-axis is your temperature. So if I just execute this much, again I will give the I will get the blank slide with x-axis and y-axis. But once I add this geometric underscore color in bracket access fill labels. Now I'm filling these labels. I'm filling these labels to my country. It will give me the bar. Okay, so as I mentioned, geometric underscore bar will give the bar. Similarly, geometry underscore call will give me the call, and inside that filling the labels. That means in Delhi it is filling maximum, minimum, maximum, minimum, and so on. Let us see. Let us see whether how it works. And then you have to add title, which is, so I have given the same thing. Title will be also added, and I have adjusted the title also. Okay, I have adjusted the title with 0.5 will be center, and even I have put the size also. You can adjust the title size also. So these things I have added here. Let execute and see whether it whole thing will be works out. So it will take few seconds and it will show you like this. So this is the graph basically for multiple bar diagram, but it is actually not a multiple bar diagram. This is called subdivided bar diagram. This is called subdivided bar diagram. And here you can see somebody was asking for scale, right? Scale. So scale automatically given. So this is a red color which is given max, and this is the pink color, I think, right? So this is the minimum. Not pink, it's a blue, I think. So this will be the minimum. So this is showing me the minimum. This is showing me the maximum. But actually, if you write the command for this much, it will give me the subdivided bar diagram. But actually, I want multiple bar diagram. So to convert this subdivided into multiple, what you have to add, whole thing will be the same. Whole thing will be the same. We have to just add the geometric call, fill labels, etc. Comma. See, now this is double bracket. This is the double bracket. Okay, one bracket for filling and one bracket for the common. Okay, so here if I say comma, positioning will be given dot. Okay, so position we have to change. Position we have to change. So to change the position of that particular bar, you have to add position is equal to dot. So whenever you add position is equal to dot, and entire thing will be the same. Entire thing will be the same. I think I can only do. Okay, let me execute this and see whether it will be run or not. See, it will take few seconds. Now it is converted to your multiple bar diagram. So even subdivided multiple is not much difference. So if you just add to the dots to the particular labels, that is the geometric underscore call, and in x-axis just put the position which is dots. Those dots convert the subdivided into the multiple. So here I have, I think, not copied this part. So if you just copy this part like that, your centering part plus here, it will, your title will come in, your title will come in the center. Oh, something is not coming properly. What is that problem? Yeah, double plus sign we got here. That's, you can see if you just read this error, because error identifying is very important. So cannot use this plus ggplot with the single argument. So double plus automatically it is showing. So you can just understand. Did you accidentally put plus on the new line? Okay, just remove this plus and execute. So it will show you in the front, in center. We can, now you can see the center. You can increase the size of this font also. And so based on the criteria, we can. So I think this is enough for multiple bar diagram. So we can have look. So I'll unmute to all. So if you have any questions, you can ask with regarding the multiple bar diagram. Okay. So let me see the chat box. Anyone having any difficulty? Jyoti Pandey, one question is there. As you said, remove and delete are same, but removing the variable does not affect the original data, but delete means that will not appear in. Okay, okay. See, basically, removing is a subsetting your data. You cannot delete, I think you cannot delete the data. You can delete the variable rows or column, if I am not wrong, like that. So removing the variables, it won't be affect in your original data because you're subsetting the things, but deleting the variable will affect it in your data, and whatever effect in your data, you can save it in some other name and you can reuse it. Correct. Here you mentioned after removing any variable, do we have to store it in the new data? Yes, you can store. So I think last to last session we have seen how to store it new data set. So I have not uploaded that video for that, but maybe the next, till the next week that I will upload all the video, maybe coming videos and remaining all videos. Okay. So removing means you will remove that particular variable, but it will be won't affect in your data set. But deleting means once you delete it, it will affect in your data set. Correct? And once it is affect, and if you are using that those data, you can store it in some other data frame and you can reuse it. I hope I have given answer for your questions. Okay. Sir, I can write city rather than country. Okay. City rather than country. Let me see. Yeah, definitely. Correct. You can write, no problem. Yeah, you can write city, no problem. Yeah, because whatever it is mentioned, you can based on that you can write it down, no problem. Okay. In size, Rahul Pal, I didn't understand your questions. Let me see read the question. Why we are using 10.3 rather than 10 or 11. You can use 10.3, you can use 10.4, you can use 11, 12, 15, 19, whatever you want, based on the graph, uh, you can say lookness of the graph. It should look nice with appropriate or titles and etc. Okay, you can use this. There's no harm for writing any number. See, if I write 10.3, I may use 11, no problem. I may use 11. So title size will be little bit changed. If you see that title, I've executed that program. See, size little bit increase. If I write 20 here, if I write 20 here, the size is big, very big, I think. Let's see. See, but it doesn't look nice, nah. So that's why I have given approximate size, which is matching with my x-axis and y-axis, but little bit increased, because title means the title and x-axis y-axis should not be same. Title means title will be very bold, and little bit size increases as compared to x-axis y-axis. So approximate I have given, I think you can use 12 also. It will look, I think, nice, no problem. See, it look nice as compared to. So the difference between this size and this size should be, there should be difference. Otherwise, the title and x-axis y-axis there is no difference. Okay. I hope I have given the answer for this, Rahul Pal. Any other questions related to multiple bar diagram? Yes. Okay. There's no any questions. I think everybody understood. Very nice. Okay. So great. So keep on practicing of writing because only the thing is here, the rest code is same. Only the thing is that while entering the data from what is it called, multiple, for writing the data from multiple bar diagram is little bit difficult. I will not say difficult. Once you write it, practice it, it's become simple for you. But understand the questions, how you can enter the data as given in the problem. So if there is a 8 temperature, that means there should be repetition of, you can call city or you can call country, repetition of your levels like maximum, minimum, maximum. Okay, so try it twice. Okay, so let me share the next my PPT. Okay, so the next is pie chart. Next is pie chart. So the following figures related to the cost of the construction of a house in a city. So some cost of construction of the house of city is given to me, which is some items are given, and there's some percentages given to me. Okay, some percentages given to me, and we have to draw a suitable diagram with title. Now, okay, if you see these questions, this is similar to your simple bar diagram. One variable, one uh, that means one data, one variable. But what is the difference between this and simple and I? Here the item which I'm assuming, they're all related. They're all related. But if I use simple bar diagram, there are all countries which are independent, or all cities are independent. So there is no relation exist. Means they are independent. But here I am using the cost of construction of particular items. So they are related, they are interrelated. So whenever we have interrelated data, you have to always go for pie chart. See, the students always get confused. I don't know, because I always repeat it twice and thrice. You have to perform whenever there is a repetition, whenever there is an interrelation between the variables and items. We always go for the pie chart. But students still ask an exam. See, asking in the case of exam, it's very difficult to say me the which is right, which is wrong. But if you ask in the lecture time, so many time I will be able to give the answer. But if you ask in the exam, it is difficult for me to say whether it is right or not. Okay, so make sure that whenever you have a difficulty, whenever you have any doubts, you can ask in the lecture time. You can put on the chat box or you can ask directly, no problem. I will say 100 times, no problem. But make sure that understand the questions properly. So for there is no theory part I have included in that simple multiple pie chart. There is no theory part, but the background should be clear. Okay, background should be clear. Background in the sense you have to understand the data. See, our whole this paper will be based on understanding the concepts, understanding the data. So if we have this data, what we can do? If we have a simple data, what we can do? If we have, you can say, interrelated data, then what we can do? Means if the interrelated data, then you can use pie chart. If you have two interrelated data, you can draw scatter plot. Maybe you have studied that, what do you call it, multiple simple linear regression. You know, when you have two relation, whenever you have two variable, one will be dependent, one will be independent, you draw the scatter plot and you check the relation will be exist or not. If relation exists, then you go for the simple paradigm, simple, okay, what do you call it, simple linear regression, okay, SLR, and so on. So understand the questions, and based on that you can always go with the data visualization. So this is the questions we have given. Let's see step by step how it works in the, so how it works in the R. Okay, so this is the data which I have. Data dot frame item means I have given the variable item, because item is a string or character, so I have to write in terms of column vector, comma. I think this is a very simple. As you have entered for what you called simple bar diagram, same thing we have to add. But here I have given the values which is given percentage. Okay, and to draw the pie chart we usually use angles. I hope you are clear with that particular value. See, if you are not understanding what kind of data we use generally, you go to, or you can, if you have any fundamentals of mathematics and statistics, you can just open that book and you can just find. Even if you have any FIBSC book, you can just open it and you can see there's some theory. Why I'm telling you theory part? Because it will support you. When do you perform multiple, when do you perform pi, and when do you perform simple? Okay, so I think entering the data is very simple for us, and you can just execute this and you can able to see the data. So this is the actual exactly the same data we can able to see. Okay, now if you see in the pie chart, there will be no excess, right? It look like a circle, and the circle we have a slice, or we can call component. Okay, just visualize, huh? Just visualize. So in a circle there is no axis, there is no y-axis, nothing is there. Okay, so we have a circle, and circle, you know, the total angle will be 360, but I have to convert in terms of percentage. Okay, so data is given in terms of percentage to me, and these angles are basically converted to the slice. So slice means component, means you can call item. So cement, steel, brick, etc. They are basically called slice and angles. So if I write ggplot your data, so data set name, so the data which I have entered here, same thing I have written here. Then you have to write access. Now if you see this access, I have keep blank here. In double quote, I keep blank. Okay, I've kept it blank. And in y-axis, I have given percentage to the expenditure. Means I'm putting the variable y. Sorry, in y-axis, I am defining the expenditure. It is per underscore expenditure, the percentage, because the data is given in terms of percentage. Or if it is given in terms of angle, you can write angle, no problem. So percentage underscore expenditure, and fill the item. Fill the item means, see what I mentioned, we have a given 360 and this slice representing item. So I have to fill the item. I have to fill this particular item. And geometric bar width is 1, state is identity. देखो अभी मैंने what I did here, I'll just remove this. Okay, I'll just remove this. I will simply write this bar. If I just removed that, this is the exactly look like your simple bar diagram. If we have understood a simple bar diagram, exactly the simple bar diagram. Okay. Why I have not written here x axis and y axis? Because I know it is circle, so circle don't have x axis, y axis. Okay. Just execute pi. It will take few seconds because it's doing all calculations. It will show you that. Oh, it's not showing. Okay. Just type here, comma, width is equal to 1. It will be output. Let's see. Oh, great. So what I actually did here, state identity I have given, but here on x-axis I have not defined any variable. If you see here, okay, if I'm not going to write here width, it will not show you me. If I write width will be, let's say, 0.5. Okay, 0.5. So this width will be basically the size of this bar. Somewhere somebody is asking na, how we can change the size of bar and distance extra. So here the width is 1. I made width is 0.5. Let's see. See, the size of bar is changed. The size of bar is changed. Okay. So I'm telling you keep 1, because if you keep 1, then it will be shown you that bar, you can call bar will be clearly. Otherwise you will get very small angle. You will not understand ki this is what type. Here the items is given here. You can able to see the item. But if you give the width will be 1, it will be show you. It will shown your slice or components clearly. That is the one thing. Just I want to tell you. So here actually it is subdivided, but actually I want subdivided. No, I want to change this in terms of angle, right? I have to show this in terms of angle. So what I have to do, I have to write this pi. So this is my variable, which is pi, and now I'm creating another variable pi1. So pi1 contain pi plus coordinate underscore polar. So this is the coordinate, right? X coordinate. In bracket, y coordinate start with 0. Y coordinate start with 0. If you understand the y coordinate start with 0, that means they are talking about angle. 0, 30, 60, 90, like that. Okay, so it is moving in the form of circle. Okay, let's execute and see. So I have executed. Now I have to run this pi1. It will take few seconds. Yeah, very nice. So your y coordinate moving starting with 0. That means it will assuming the angles. Okay, so it will assume the angle and it will show you the pie chart. But if you see this, they are not giving any percentage and data. Means this whether cement, how much percent of cement you are using, how much percent of brick you are using, how much percent of labor you are using, etc., etc. So for this, you need to understand the code of this data. This is the little bit what I called this you have to understand. Okay. So pi1 means this variable geometric and underscore test, because you're putting the test inside the item. Access label paste 0. This is the code which you have to just understand. I'm pasting that code around. Now why I'm writing arounding, because sometimes if you calculate the data, you'll get in terms of 20.3, 20.2 and so on. Okay, so it will round up and it will convert it to 2, means up to decimal 0, up to decimal point, let's say 22.33. So it will take 2022 like comma percentage, because we have given terms of percentage data. Position underscore. So what is the position? Because see, if I put without position, it will give me the data anywhere in my graph. That I don't want. I want properly put in center or put in middle. Or so we need to require understand the syntax for this. So position underscore stack, because it is stack. V just is equal to 0.5 plus theme avoid. What is this theme avoid? Okay, I'll just remove this first. You will find the difference. You will find it. I'll just keep this first. So what is the command for this actually? I'm adding I'm adding text to this particular graph. Okay, means if this is angle, then what will be the angle? Okay, so that we want. So just execute this and see. Oh, great. We can able to understand how these particular numbers are given. Okay, this is actual data is with me, so I can understand now. Cement is given 20%, labors are given 25%. Okay, so that position I have mentioned now, the position, that's why I have taken the width is 1. If you take width is 0.5, then you will be not understand this particular value, which is very string. It's very string, right? So that's why you can keep always width is 1, or you can increase the size. So if I just add that I have removed that code for theme underscore wide, then it will give me the what will be the output. See. Wow, now it's look nice. So if I just zoom it, it look nice. So this is basically a pie chart, right? You can give the title also, as usual, GG title in bracket, whatever you want, you can give it. So what this basically theme wide says, theme wide basically there is one line here coming, right? There's one, you can say circle type 0, 100, 0, 25, 50, that is coming. So if you just wide that, you remove that, it will look nice for pie chart. Okay, so this is the things for related to pie chart. So if you have any questions, you can ask. I have unmute to all. Please mute yourself. If you have no questions, you can mute yourself. If you have any questions, you can unmute and ask, and again unmute yourself, or you can go to chat box and write down. I hope the pie chart is clear. Dodge means basically dodge na convert your subdivided become bars, subdivided into the parts. means is that is actually vertical, it is converted to horizontal, converted to bars. So expenditure are 98% only, but in pie chart it should be 100%. I don't know what expenditure are 98% only, but in pie chart it should be 100. No, I didn't understand your questions, Rahul Pal. Can you explain? In question, expenditure are 98. Okay. So here also it will be 98%, I think. If you add up this is 30, 40, 50, 60. No, it is 100%. Okay, means there is some number missing. Okay. So maybe in the questions you can just modify your questions. Yeah, you can just because it will always convert in terms of percentage, because it is mentioned percentage. Adding expenditures are 98% in questions. Okay, so maybe you can change. You can go to the questions and you can just uh, yeah, because it is 18. Yeah, you can change this. You can change this miscellaneous. You can convert to. You can just modify and you can take 12. So if it is 12, then it will be show you the. I think I have taken 12 there. If I think miscellaneous is 10 here. You can just modify it is 12. Okay. I think that was the correction is there. I think. I hope it is there will be 12 miscellaneous. Yeah, miscellaneous is 12. That's why you're. That's why it is not showing. Because I have entered the data properly. Because I have went to the PPT. I have taken the data and like that. See, writing the code, you have to see the data. Now, if your question is in front of you, then entering the data is simple. But if in question is in your laptop and this thing, then it will like moving here and there, here and there. It will take time consuming and might be you will be do little bit maybe entering mistake. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Let me see the chat box. Okay. Yeah, correct. That's why it is showing me 12 here instead of 10. Yeah, so you can modify that PPT. You can just take 10 there, no problem. Sorry, 12 there. Okay, so I think we end up with the simple bar diagram, we end up with the multiple bar diagram, we end up with the pie chart. Very nice. So 2 lectures is quite useful. So similarly, if I get 2 more lectures, like, then maybe the next week I will finish. I will finish that. Uh, Next week means I have 4 more lectures. I will finish this unit 1. Now, what I want to show you here, I didn't check in Canvas anyone what is the performance. That's why I cannot able to tell what is status of Canvas. But definitely the next week I will come to the Canvas and what is the progress of our students we will see. Okay. Now, in Canvas you have a assignment related to this topic. Okay. So far I have not completed data visualization. Few more graphs are remaining. I hope everybody is working on Canvas, at least giving half an hour per day. So if you give the half an hour per day in Canvas, definitely you can do lot things in the Canvas. Okay. So work on this Canvas. These 2 assignments I have given here. In data visualization, I have given 2 questions. You can see here. I think this is related to your multiple bar diagram. Right, countries are there, birth and rate is there. So you can apply. But here there nothing mentioning. Represent the information by appropriate diagram. So you have to write it down. Title, x-axis, y-axis, colors by own, whichever color you like, etc. etc. Okay. And using the second question is using the loan.xls. plot the graphs and diagrams. So this is related to graphs and diagram. So you have to draw a simple bar diagram, you have to draw multiple bar diagram, you need to draw histogram, you need to draw a box plot. So this question is not completed actually, okay? But you complete at least one. At least question number 1, you write it down code and their output and save it in your Word file. So that once this is over, you can directly upload in Canvas. Okay? And I will just go through that if possible. Then I will allot the marks for that. Okay. Not visible. What not visible? I have not shared the screen. What? Okay. Okay. I hope now it is visible. Yeah. So this was the questions. Okay. So I think this same type of questions I have given here. Same type of questions I have given. So you can work on this question 1, and you can, as usual, you are working, right? As for submitting assignment, you work on same. But using loan data, maybe the next week, maybe hopefully the next week only, I will going to update in Canvas, maybe on your front page only, that unit 1 2 3 4. Above that there is a syllabus and there is applied component syllabus. Below that you will be get all data, the data on which you are going to work. Okay, so there you will get the loan data, maybe step loss data, means whatever data we are going to use it. Okay, so that data is data file is available with you, okay, in Canvas. So you can download that data and you can execute this question number 2 also in Art Studio. So that things I just want to tell about assignment. Now maybe the next session I'm going to use inbuilt data. Inbuilt data which is inbuilt in the maybe if I show you the next one, let's say just give me time for this. Now it is opening, just give me time. Okay, so if I back to my questions, which we have to work on that. Very soon I'm going to upload this also, but for being I have not uploaded. I hope you have worked on problem number 6 and problem number 7. In problem number 7, there was little bit change in the questions. You can use Z1 because Z1 is already exist here. So question number 7 and question number 6. These two questions I have given in assignment. Okay, where the Z1 is already there. Z1 is already there. And if I merge this in question number 6, this is capital Z and here I am using small z. That was a difference, but somebody think like there should not be same Z, okay, because I have already mentioned that it is a case sensitive. It is the case sensitive. So if it is case sensitive, make sure that you have to always understand capital Z or capital small z. So instead of this Z, you can use Z2, no problem. Okay, Z2. And I think I have shared the screen, right? Sometime even I am confused also, because I have opened so many screens, because I'm going to use PPT, I'm going to use some Word, I'm going to use Art Studio, so it get mix up. Okay. So this is two questions I have included in the assignment. You can work on that. Then this is, you can have a practice for this subsetting. So subsetting part is also done. So very soon I'm going to upload these questions also. Assume it is assignment, and I hope everybody done this assignment and upload it to Canvas. If you are not, then try to do it. Definitely it will helpful for you, even for conducting practicals and etc. Okay. And now in coming session, I have included this questions also. So if you see, I have covered, this is actually related to practicals only. So I have covered these questions. I have covered this question. Two questions are done. This is frequency polygon. Maybe next session I will complete this. This is subdivided diagram. I have given the example for subdivided, right? Like in 2000, in year this, I have these many students. So total students you are knowing here, right? So whenever you know the total students, you can able to use subdivided instead of multiple. Make sure that you know the difference between multiple and subdivided. This is the very important. Okay, understanding the questions and concluding the questions are very important. I think 3-4 questions also did from here. Okay, like these questions also covered. So maybe the next question, next time we will, I hope I'm trying to finish. I will take actual data now, means like these questions, actual data, and how this actual data means you have to access the data from inbuilt. Means in our RStudio there is a inbuilt data. I have already I think shown you the some of in one of my lectures that the data is exist, which is inbuilt in the RStudio. You have to face that data and you have to represent, you have to give the data visualization to the particular variables. So you have to just little bit draw the histogram, draw the box plot, and so many things, so if we have, so this is the basically the, maybe the next session I will going to cover these questions. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can definitely ask. I have unmute to all. Okay, so I'll stop sharing first because it consuming the lot of energy, lot of data. And I will send the feedback form. You can fill it. And if you have any doubt, you can ask, no problem. I finished the today's sessions. Feedback. No question?
Assignment. हेलो
Yes, बोलिए.
सर फॉर असाइनमेंट के लिए हमें सिर्फ मतलब सिंटेक्स लिखना है ना वर्डपैड में.
हाँ, वर्डपैड में सिंटेक्स लिखिए, जो उसका आउटपुट आता है वो भी लिखिए, और दोनों को कंबाइन करके आपके कैनवास में अपलोड कर दीजिए. Okay. Any other question? No questions. No doubt. Correct. I have shared the feedback form. You can just fill it now. Sir, now onward we will have to use Google Meet. Why have to use Google Meet? I don't know. राजेश शहानी.
सर छाया मैम ने लिंक भेजा ना उसका.
अच्छा. देखो अभी ऑफिशियली हमको तो मालूम नहीं गूगल मीट यूज करना है कि नहीं करना है, बट लिंक भेजा है तो यू कैन यूज, नो प्रॉब्लम ना. गूगल मीट मीन्स इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ गूगल ओनली, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. गूगल मीट यूज करो या फिर ये यूज करो.
वो नहीं सर, सब चार चार ऐप डाउनलोड करके रखे हम लोग, ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ.
अच्छा, चार चार अकाउंट करके रखे.
नहीं, इतना सारा ऐप डाउनलोड करे हम लोग, ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ.
ओके ओके ओके. गूगल क्लासरूम है LMS. Yes, yes, it is LMS. Google Classroom is LMS, but we are getting very few facilities in LMS, Google Classroom. But I deny to use because I cannot work like assignment. I cannot able to submit the project, etc., etc. So that's why so basically I'm using Google Classroom for SYBSE students because our SYBSE students not like much expert, but working Canvas it's excellent, I think. So that's why I'm using for SY Google Classroom and TY for uh, Canvas. Okay, any other question? I think that form is opening, right?
Yes.
So number of lectures you are supposed to enter 2, I think, right? Keep on practicing of this R because it is very important for you to practice, because writing code and everything it's quite difficult. So until unless you will write it down and practice, you will not understand how it works. Okay. So any other question is there? So tomorrow I'm going to take second lecture, Jay sir lecture, okay? And maybe after that, Jay sir will take lecture. 9 to 9:50.